Okay, this is going to be the final video of Unit 7. It's going to be on GCF factoring. Okay, now we talked about this at the very beginning. What you want to do every single time that you factor is you always want to check for a GCF. Okay, so let's go to Functions, Miscellaneous GCD. Okay, so I want to type all three in, and I want to see how many threes actually. If I get a GCF, now I get 3. Now they have this has an I, this doesn't. So the GCF is 3. So what I want to do, okay, all right, is I want to divide every part by 3. All right, so 6 divided by 3 would be 2. All right, 6 divided by 3 would be 2. Okay, and this is just going to stay I squared because there's nothing else to divide. 33 divided by 3, is 11, I. And then I got 36 divided by 3, which is 12, okay? All right, now, what you should do, all right, you got that GCF of 3. Go ahead and put that GCF down by your factors, okay? That way you don't forget it for your answer. And now you factor just like we've done the whole unit. 2 times 12 is 24. Factors there would be 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Once again, I am looking for the set that gets me my middle term, which would be this set. So what I'd have is 2i squared plus 3i to the first plus 8i to the first plus 12. Okay, box. Okay, 2i squared plus 3i to the first plus 8i to the first plus 12. And then all I'm doing is the GCD stuff. Okay, I'm doing the GCD. Okay, whoops. So I got 2 and 8, gives me 2. They both have I, smallest exponent is 1. Okay, do the bottom 3 and 12. It's 3, plus there. This has an I, this doesn't, so I can't have it. And I go that way. All right, I got 2 and 3. All right, 2, 3. All right, there's 1. They both have I, so I, smallest exponent is 1. All right, 8 and 12. Is 4, okay? Since that's a plus, it's a plus 4 there, okay? This has an I, this doesn't. So my final factors are 2i to the first plus 3, 1i to the first plus 4, okay? They all have that 3, so make sure you put your GCF down by that. Okay, so that's all we're basically doing. Doing the same factoring that we've been doing. Okay. All right, same factor we've been doing. We're just checking that GCF every time. Okay. All right. So I got 5, comma, negative 20, comma, negative 105. Okay, and it tells me 5. All right. So I'm going to divide these all by 5. And then I'm going to put that 5 down here next to my factors because I know that's going to be part of my answer. Okay? So 5 divided by 5 is 1. All right, so 1i squared. Okay? Negative 20 divided by 5, negative 4i. And then negative 105 divided by 5, negative 21. Okay? And now I'm ready to actually factor. So 1 times negative 21 is negative 21. The factors are 1 and 21. 2 wouldn't work, I don't think. No. 3. So yep, 3 and 7. Okay. All right. I only have to check a few. 4 no. 5 no. 6 no. Okay. All right. Now, since I see negatives, I start out by making one side negative. I have to test it. Does negative 1 times 21 give me that? It does. So I'm good with the number of sides. That's the first thing you got to figure out. Now, I'm looking for the set that adds up to this. So don't look at that GCF. Once you've done that, in essence, you go ahead and cross that out. Okay? All right? Now, I'm not going to put that in the notes because I don't want you to be confused. Okay? So what I'm actually looking for is I'm looking for this negative 4. Now, this adds up to positive 4. What's the quick fix? Make that positive, make that negative. Okay? So I got the, so basically what this would turn into is 1i squared plus 3i to the first minus 7i to the first minus 21. Okay? So 1I squared plus 3I to the first minus 7I to the first minus 21. And now I'm just doing GCFs of my rows, okay? All right, so I got 1 and negative 7, which would give me 1. I'm gonna do the other one as well, okay? So it's 1, this both has an I, so I to the first, okay? All right, so then I got 3 and 21, gives me 3, positive, because that's a plus there. I, no I, okay? And I'm gonna go this way, all right? 1 and 3. A little shortcut is, if you got 1 involved, it's gonna be 1 every time. If you wanna skip that step, all right? So that's 1, they both have I, so I 1. And I got negative 7 and negative 21. Negative 7, comma, negative 21. All right, so I got 7, there's a minus there, so that's a minus, okay? I, no I, all right? So what this does is 1I to the first plus 3, 1I to the first minus 7, joins that, that result, okay? All right, let's do another one, okay? So I'm gonna check this, all right? All right, so I'm gonna check 4, negative 60, and 200. Okay, you get 4, all right? So what does that mean? I gotta divide them all by 4. 4's gotta be down here with my answer. Okay, so that would be 1I squared. This would be, I treat that like negative 60, so negative 60 divided by 4 would be negative 15, with just I, and that's 200 divided by 4, which would be 50, okay? Multiply the 1 and the 50, I get 50. Back to chart of 50. 1 and 50, 2 and 25, 3 no, 4 no, 5 no, 5 and 10, I think. I think that's it after that. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? Now, since I make negatives, see negatives, I make one side negative. Now, here's the problem though. Negative 1 times 50 doesn't give me negative 50. All right, or it gives me negative 50. I need it to be positive 50. So what do I have to do? Make both sides negative, okay? All right, because negative 1 now times negative 50 gives me 50, okay? Now, what set am I looking for? Set that adds up to negative 15. Okay, that would be this set right here. So what this is going to be is 1I squared minus 5I to the first minus 10I to the first plus 50. Okay, 1I squared minus 5I to the first minus 10I to the first plus 50. Okay, now I'm just doing GCFs. Okay, now I'm just doing GCFs of this. Okay, so I got 1 and negative 10. Gives me 1. They both have I, so I to the first because that's the smallest exponent. Then I do negative 5 and 50. It's going to be 5. Since there is a negative there, that's going to be negative I, no I. Okay? And I go the other way. All right, I got 1 and negative 5. It gives me 1. They both have I, so I, smallest exponent is 1. Then I do negative 10 and 50. It's 10. There, whoops, that should not be a plus. Hold on. Since there is a minus there, that would be minus 10. This has I, this doesn't. So this is 1I to the first minus 5, 1I to the first minus 10. Make sure you have the 4 in there, okay? All right, now, this one, okay? I know the difference of squares is really easy. You still got to check that GCF there. So 2 and negative 32, all right? Which would be 2, all right? So I'm going to divide by 2, put 2 down here with my answer. So that is going to be I squared minus 16. Now, convenient, I can just go ahead and do I squared or 1I squared minus 16, okay? Now, what I'm doing is taking the square roots of every term, okay? Square root of 1 is 1, so 1I to the first. Okay, then I'm going to do square root 16. That is going to be 4 and 4. Now what I have to do is make 1 plus and 1 negative, okay? So 1I to the first plus 4, 1I to the first minus 4, okay? All right, don't forget your 2 as a part of it, okay? All right, difference of squares is really easy. You can automatically just go right to the box, okay? All right, so what I'd like you guys to do is go ahead and pause your video, okay, and go ahead and work on these problems. All right, I'm gonna duplicate this slide because I'm gonna have to erase that bottom part. Okay, so go ahead and unpause your video. Okay, all right, so I want to check for GCFs. So I got 24, negative 28, and 8. What does it tell me? It tells me 4. So I'm going to divide, whoops. I'm going to divide everything by 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4 down here with my factors, okay? So if I divide that, that's 6i squared. I divide that, that's negative 7i. Divide that's 2, okay? Multiply the 2 and the 6, or 6 and the 2 gives me 12. Factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, I think 3 and 4. All right, now, since I see negatives, start out by one side, check it. Am I right on the number of sides? I am not, so I need to have both sides negative. Why? Because negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12. That's what I want. Okay, I'm looking for the set that's negative 7. That would be this set. So I got 6i squared minus 3i to the first minus 4i to the first plus 2. Box. 6i squared, 3i to the first minus 4i to the first plus 2. Just GCFs now at this point. Okay, that's all I got to do. Okay, 6, negative 4. It's going to be 2, I squared, and I, that's I1. Okay? Okay, so I got negative 3 and 2, which would be 1. Okay, there's a minus there, so it's a minus. I to the first, no I. Okay? Then I go that way. 6 and negative 3 gives me 3. Both have I, so I to the first because that's the smallest exponent. And then negative 4 and 2. Okay, it's 2. Okay, there's a minus there. This has an I, this doesn't. So I got 2i to the first minus 1, 3i to the first minus 2. Boom, those are my answers. Okay? All right, let's do this one together. All right? Okay, so I got 3, negative 30, negative 72. It's 3. Okay, so divide everything by 3. 3 is down here with my factors. Okay, so it would be 1i squared, that would be minus 10i, and that would be minus 24. Yeah, okay, so 1 times negative 24 is negative 24. Factors there, 1 and 24. I'll do one factor chart with you. All right, 24 divided by 2 would be 2 and 12. 24 divided by 3 would be 3 and 8. 24 divided by 4, 4 and 6. Okay, all right, since I see negatives, I make one side negative. Okay, all right, let's check it. I multiply negative 1 times 24. I get negative 24, so I'm good. Now I'm looking for the set that adds up to negative 10. This set adds up to 10. So all I do is just switch those. Okay? All right? So how I would rewrite this is 1i squared plus 2i to the first minus 12i to the first minus 24. Okay? So that's what's going to go in my box. Okay? 1i squared plus 2i to the first minus 12i to the first minus 24. And now all we're doing is GCD stuff. Okay? All right? Okay, that's 1 and negative 12, which is 1. They both have an I, so I1, because that's the smallest exponent. All right. We got 2 and negative 24 is 2. All right, since that's a plus, it's a plus. I, no I. So I do 1 and 2, okay? 1 and 2, which is just going to be 1. They both have an I, so I to the first. And then I got negative 12 and negative 24. So it's 12, and since there's a minus here, minus, okay? So I got 1I plus 2, 1I minus 12. Okay? Let's go to these problems. Get through these real quick. All right, let me erase these here. Boom. Let's see if I can move these real quick. So we use some technology and move them. Let's see. Will it work? Awesome. Awesome, great. I'll have to struggle with that. All right. So what I want to do is check this. All right. 2, 6, comma, negative 36. It's going to be 2. So I divide everything by 2 and put 2 down here with my factors. Okay? So that's going to be 1I squared plus 3I minus 12. I'm going to multiply 1 and negative 12. Factors of negative 12. I've done those a lot. 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Wait, did I do that right? 18, should be 3, should be 6. Oh, whoops. Sorry, that should be a negative 18. That's why that didn't work. Okay, factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay, all right. Now, since I see negatives, I'm going to try that. Okay, one side being negative. Let's see if it's got to equal negative 18. Let's see if that works out. Negative 1 times 18 is negative 18, which is good. Okay, I'm looking for the set that adds up to 3. That would be right here. Boom. So this would be 1I squared, all right, minus 3I to the first plus 6I to the first minus 18, okay? So I'm just gonna do my chart, 1I squared minus 3I to the first plus 6I to the first minus 18, okay? And now we're just doing GCFs, okay? Now we're just doing GCFs. 1 and 6 would give me 1. They both have I, so I to the first, okay? Then negative 3 and negative 18. We got 3 minus minus. No I though, okay? Then I do 1 and negative 3. It's 1, I and I, so I to the first. Okay, and then 6. 6 and negative 18. That's going to be 6. That's plus, plus, no I. So 1I to the first minus 3, 1I to the first plus 6. With that 2. Okay? Now, very tempting to just go ahead and do the difference of squares here. I got to check. All right? 36, negative 4. Okay, that is going to be 4. So divide 4, 4. 4 goes down here with my factors. So 36 divided by 4 would be 9. Negative 4 divided by 4 would be a negative 1. Okay? Still box, but it's a lot easier. I can just put 9I squared minus 1. So I just got to take the square root of 9 is 3. Square root of I squared would be I. So 3I to the first, 3I to the first. Okay? Square root of 1 is 1. 1's got to be positive, 1's got to be negative. So that goes 3I to the first plus 1, 3I to the first minus 1. Okay? So that's the application of factoring with the GCF at the beginning.